Professional learning communities are teams of teachers or educators around the table with the sole focus of student learning.
Professional learning communities, to me, PLCs, is when our department or common subjects can get together and work together to set up lesson plans or work on assessments or just the path they're going to take for the class they're dealing with.
Professional learning communities are groups of teachers who get together to plan looking at any of our common courses that we teach, how we can work together to improve them. We create assessments together, we create assignments together, and we plan together.
Good afternoon, staff. As we start the year off in our professional learning communities, we think it's so important that everybody understands the why behind what we're doing, that this is not just something that we're doing as a directive from myself or the administrative team, but that you really understand the purpose and have clarity as to the why we believe this is going to take our school to the next level of where we need it to be. We, about 5 or 6 years ago, really made a shift from teaching to learning. And it was based on the research that talks about the most important thing in determining student achievement is the effectiveness of a teacher. And we also looked a lot at what our strengths were as a staff. We said that we valued collaboration. We said we valued each other. We said that we really valued the students and putting them first and making sure that learning was the most important thing. So as we kind of put all of those things together, the professional development model that we selected was professional learning communities, because what it does is it allows us to build upon our strengths of collaboration, quality people, effective instruction, where we can come together, work together, and share, and we can all get better for the sake of student learning. When you think about what a community is, it is building our own teams, and that's exactly what this time is meant to do, that you'll be not just in your departments but in your small groups working together. We are absolutely better together than we are as individuals. And we need to learn from each other, we need to share from each other, we need to trust each other, we need to be vulnerable with each other. But that's how we each become better. So in turn, we can be better professionals for our students, and their learning and achievement will just absolutely soar. There's also a lot of research that talks about there cannot be student learning and student achievement if there's not adult learning and adult achievement.
And the 4 essential questions: what do we want students to learn? How do we know that they've learned it? What do we do if they did not learn it? And then if they have learned it, what do we do next? And it's just a professional community where everyone supports one another, taking a look at student learning, and that's what professional learning communities is all about.
Guaranteed means that all students, regardless of their teacher, will have access to the same essential content, knowledge, and skills. This means that teachers of all common courses will have the same learning goals and the same expectations for students' achievement. Viable means that the curriculum is realistic in scope and targets students' learning that's needed for short and long-term success.
In the math department, we've gone through a lot of different changes in the past couple of years with Common Core and not Common Core and Indiana math standards and stuff. So PLCs for us have really helped us align our math curriculum all the way from Algebra 1 to Geometry to Algebra 2 and beyond. And the PLCs, when we work together, we get together to work on the standards and make sure we're meeting the kids' needs and preparing them for the future.
PLCs have been awesome for our department. I think the biggest thing to remember is that we're always better together than we are by ourselves. We can bounce ideas off of each other. We have a purpose in mind. We have really structured conversations. We know what our students need to know. We know when they know it and when they don't. And we're able to have really great conversations about how our students did on a particular assessment or what we would change the next time, because we all have a similar purpose in mind and we're committed to it. Does it take away our creativity? Absolutely not. Actually, it makes us that much more creative altogether.
Well, we have an amazing department anyway, but the English department is made up of teachers who have so many different strengths and areas of interest. So when we can get together and put our heads together, we can create things that are so much better than if we just did them on our own.
I am so proud of where we've come with professional learning communities. It started with our teachers really getting around the table and deciding, okay, these are our essential standards, this is what we want the students to learn. And then it was about, well, how are we going to know they learned it? We need to have common assessments, quality common assessments, and be able to create those. And then it's about, okay, coming together and talking about our formative assessments, talking about how students are doing. How is that going to change our practices? I think last year a huge gain for us was we had that time in place for professional learning communities, and we had teachers together committed to a professional, collaborative environment. And we were talking about the right things. We were talking about assessments. We were talking about how students are doing. Where I want to see us go this year is I want us to really utilize student data and analysis more. I think we've sometimes made those assessments, but we haven't gotten back together and said, okay, this is our common assessment. How did our students do? And then how can that inform our practice? How can that change our assessments? How can that change our activities and what we're doing for best practices? And then ultimately, how can that change us as educators? So my challenge for all of our professional learning communities this year is to get more comfortable having those conversations about student learning and utilize data to have those.
And so again, this learning community model, if you really break those words down, professional, adults working together for the best interest in mind with quality instruction, the learning in that we are all learners and we can always get better. No matter what we've accomplished or what we've achieved, we can always learn from each other and we can get better. And then the piece with community, we are in it together and we are better together than we are alone. And so that's kind of what a learning community is and the why that we've decided to use this as our professional development model. So thank you in advance for your willingness to work together, for taking your time to make our kids better, and overall just make Westfield High School a great place to be. I really appreciate you.